Hi everyone, let's start today's call. And we would start from another agenda item first so that Simon can set up the demo. So I just want to give a brief update on the mUzima Jira. So we have been doing quite a bit of like configuration and things like that. One of the features I would like to show the team is on this one. Can you guys see my screen?
No,
Not
we
yet.
cannot see.
Can you guys see my screen?
No.
Let me know when it's displayed.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see it now?
Yes.
Okay. So one of the updated features that I want to point out is that we now have these development sessions on the right-hand side, right under between the dates and the agile session. So what it means is that if there's any pull requests or any commit or branches like in the GitHub side, it would update the information here so that we can clearly know that which are the three committed have been done related to this ticket and things like that. So it's a now we have the connection, the connection integration between the GitHub with the Jira. So it's a nice way for us to figure out what all the pull requests are and all the commits are and which branches have been affected. This is a nice feature that we can have so that we don't need to go through all the comments sometimes that when we say, oh, pull request is this, commit number is this, and things like that. So, but the only requirement is that on the GitHub side, the developers need to include the Jira ticket number. So that is the tag that the Jira would look for, and then if there's a tag with that, and it will update the corresponding Jira with the GitHub information. So that is the requirement. If you don't include that, it will not be able to automatically pull those information. So I think from now on we need to make a mandatory practice that every pull request and commit, it needs to have the Jira ticket number. Any questions or comments on this one? No? Okay. So another one is the mUzima test server update, and Simon has helped us to tweak the memory setting for the mUzima test server to allocate more memory so that we don't, hopefully we don't end up running into out of memory situation and then need to restart the server that frequent. If you guys experience otherwise that you have any issues with the mUzima test server, either it's running very slow or other reasons, feel free to send an email to the listserv and then we can look into that.
Okay.
Since Wayne is not on yet, so I'll wait for him to talk about the versioning. The implementation updates in AMR's production, when you, let me just do this one. Yeah, when you go to the queue data and the error data, it shows that no data in the database. We haven't got a chance to look into it yet. When finally got a chance to look at it last night, it's kind of late. He was not able to look further because they delete his home directory on the in the production in the production, and also there were like a bunch of scheduled test running during that time, so he was not able to look further. He's going to look at it today. So after you guys time, hopefully that's less busy with the server, and then we'll give you guys an update. And so another update is the exception thrown with the APK on Google Play Alpha. I think Robai and I were able to reproduce the same error. So that one is the error that with the connection issue with the server side. What it means is that the server was not able to be have the connection with the APK when you try to upload the forms, and that's how we got that exception. I think we need to retest it again since the mUzima test server has been memory has been tweaked a little bit. Hopefully, it solved the problem. If it still happens, and then we can look into further. I just want to give an update to provide the reason why we end up with that exception thrown error. Any questions or comments?
Maybe additional information, Ada.
Yeah, go ahead.
We tested just before we came for the call, and it was showing the same error.
Are you talking about log 23?
Thrown while uploading form.
Yeah, which form and which server?
mUzima test server.
Yeah, so if that's the case, I think we need to look into it again. Send me the log again to see if the log is the same or different this time.
We have a different
one. Can I mention? To me, I think the issue is with the latest module. Because I was also trying to look into the same thing, so I uploaded an older version. I think the one dated 4th September, and I'm able to upload forms to the server side. So I was not able to look at the error logs on AMPAT test server, but just before the call, I was also trying to look at what the error generated on the cloud server. So it's something. It's just a small hitch within the latest version of the module, but I've not gotten to the bottom of it.
Okay, yeah, Simon. Maybe you can send that information through email, and then we can discuss through there after the call.
Okay.
And so I was looking at what Ruth posted from her log. I think when the exception thrown for her testing the log form is a little bit different. I think hers is because of the this concept. There's an issue with this concept.
Yes.
Yeah. So this, it seems like the one that with the log 23, the log costing form is a different issue for that one. Are you guys there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think maybe that one need to update the concept for that one. Yeah.
Savai had reproduced the same problem, so I think you'll fix it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then let's see here. Okay. So Simon, are you ready for the demo, or you still need a little bit time?
A bit more time.
Okay. So and then so let me go and talk about the other one then. So let's talk about the tickets from the current sprint. Exactly is the log 23 and for the costing form. And I think we just mentioned that there's like we need to revise on one of the concepts because I probably not mapped correctly. So that's why you cannot move forward. Is that correct, Ruth?
Yes, Eda.
Okay. And then another ticket is 295. This is about the nested. testing for the nested multiple level nested concept. I think what Simon suggests is that not just to test the costing form, but also a different form. So Ruth, let me ask you back. When you test on the costing form, you use the lock VM, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So Simon, I think the question is it would be difficult for us to use a different form templates to test on the lock VM since they use different sets of metadata. So are you referring that upload this, use this APK and then pick another form? I think we just need a little bit more information about what are the non-costing forms so that team would know which session they need to do for the testing for the nested concepts.
Okay. Yeah, I will put a comment on the ticket.
Uh-huh.
Ideally, the changes for this ticket will affect costing form, the one I've seen, which has the nested repeating sections.
Uh-huh.
I've not seen another form that has such repeating sections.
Mm-hmm.
But because this ticket involves a lot of quite some change within the JavaScript, which may affect other forms.
Uh-huh.
So the idea was basically to see whether we can work with the costing form well, and also we can work with the other forms as usual without causing any side effect.
Uh-huh.
It's a little bit hard for the users just to test it because as an afterthought, I think the best way to test it is to fill the form and upload the payload to the server side, and then look at that payload whether it's formatted properly, the way we expect the payload to look like.
Uh-huh.
So you find in the previous APK, repeating sections had kind of a messed up payload, where certain sections are not, they were being duplicated within the payload.
Yeah.
I will.
So I think there's like two issues, right? One is the nested, the other is the repeated, the nested within repeated, right?
Actually, the fix will solve both.
Okay, because I think the repeated last time it was fixed for because of the form reload, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And then this one that now I think not just to make sure that the nested work properly by itself, but also what when the nested happen as a repeated sessions, and then just to make sure that they're in the correct format in the payload and also created correctly into the database. I think that's like that's the testing steps.
Okay, no, what I mean, it doesn't duplicate the entire form, but there are the repeating sections. You'll find that the payload has the data for one section repeated in two places within the same payload.
So it just duplicates itself?
Yes, I will. I think I will do an example. I think it's better if I show you the payload to understand it. So I'll do an example, and then I'll post, I think, on the ticket so that we can look, who can better understand how to test it.
Okay, cool. So we will wait for your information before we look into these two tickets a little bit further.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then the other updates for the current sprints are the Kenny EMR, and I just want to include it since like you're doing the demo, so so that folks knows which ticket need to be updated and things like that. So 33 is I set up the instance for demo purpose, and then the other I think that one is already set up, right? Because I used it before. And then 332, I think we just need to update the ticket. Actually, I think is there anything else you need to wait for the tweeting for the instant, because I think it's already set up. I just wonder if we can just close this ticket. Simon? Or you,
Sorry, the setup or which one? Or
you
all
know,
of them?
just one tick. You know, the 333 set up the Kenya EML instance for mUzima demo purpose.
Yes.
I think that one is done, right?
Yeah. The other two are done. So this one is we can say in fact this demo is partly to show what I've done so far as regards the setup. So I think after this we can tell whether it's done or not.
Okay, so I will just wait for you, and then the other same for the other two then.
Yeah, 331 and
331, 332, 333. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, so those are the agenda items I have on my and because the versioning thing, I think I just want Win to take lead on that one, so I'll wait for him to talk about that when he's on. So let me know. Are you ready yet for the demo, Simon?
Let me I don't know whether you can see my screen.
Yes.
So this is what I'm showing on the screen is the server that we have set up, and so far we've installed the three modules. As I mentioned last time, the mUzima registration module, I did some changes, so it's a little bit different from what we have.
Simon.
But yes.
Yeah, is this a Kenya EMR, like iTech server?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. All right.
Okay. So the registration module is a little bit different from what we have. So what I've done, I've set up a test cohort. Okay, two cohorts, one with a male patient, another one with a female patient, because some of the forms, there are sections which are displayed for male patients, and there are those that are disabled for depending on the sex of the patient. So let me show you the mobile side. So I've already synced the test cohort, which has two patients. Then I've also already downloaded the 4 forms to the device, the registration form and the other 3 encounter forms. So we have those are the 2 patients going to the clients tab. So I'll begin by showing you the registration form. So let me go to the registration form. As I showed last time, the form has 3 identifiers, the OpenMRS ID and the other 2, which I'm treating them as other identifiers, like we have on the registration form used at AMPATH. Then down there it has the demographics section, which collects the name, the sex, date of birth, marital status, and showing whether this person is deceased or not. Then you also collect the address information. So then they have specific fields which they want to collect in this section, and like what we have on AMPATH. And down there, there's the registration of kin details.
And
Simon,
one quick question. So I know that disease is the person attribute type. So is there a reason we need to include in the registration form? Because if the patient is I just don't know why how to say, they might update a patient is diseased later on, but it's unlikely to be on the registration form. That's what I wonder.
Well, they have it on the registration form. Probably they have mechanisms to also update the same using a different form.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, my take right now would be, some of the things that have been done might not follow kind of the standard convention. But if that's the way they have it right now, let's just model what they have, and then we could put it later to them. I don't know what people think.
Yeah, I think we should. We will model what so far, because we would want to show them what they have on their forms can be done on mUzima, and then later on we can look at how to customize it further to fit in the workflow.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know. Want to do a registration. So the OpenMRS ID, like I mentioned last time, uses the Loan 25 algorithm, which is different from what you have in the registration forms. So this field I've not made it to check whether what is inputted conforms to that algorithm, because I need to develop the algorithm and put the validation on this field. So I'll just fill in the mandatory fields. Okay, so that's it for our registration. It works basically the same way we do with the other registration forms. Next, let me show you the encounter forms, beginning with the family history form. So it has the demographics section disabled like we have with the other forms. And then down there we'll go to specific questions that will include the name of family members.
Yeah. Safai, just a quick comment before we forget.
Yeah.
So OpenMRS uses a variation of the Loon algorithm, and they have the code there for their check digit algorithm.
Yes.
No, if you have or how to modify whatever they have, Backman will be really good at helping you. So he'll do it, I think, in a few minutes. So just I'm not saying spend a lot of time on it right now, but okay.
So sorry, I missed the bit. You said who can help?
Mamling, Buck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but if you go to the OpenMRS wiki, they have the algorithm, the Java code for the algorithm there.
Yeah, actually I saw it. So what I need is to adapt it now to JavaScript.
Okay.
Yeah. So it
But
won't
Buck
be
should be good.
Okay.
Isn't it like the Kenya email they use like Loon 25, but then OpenRS used the example as like Loon 10, right? I think that's the difference.
I think OpenMRS ID is Loon 25.
Okay.
I'm not sure whether it's specific to Kenya MR.
Yeah, but also not just searching the web. That Java. Anyway, sorry to interrupt. I just thought, if you haven't looked, they must be available over there. So, like, I just looking at gist.github, and they have a Loon algorithm in JavaScript right there. Anyway, okay, sorry to interrupt.
So I will fill in two family members.
There's a JavaScript example on the same page. Just at the bottom, that you just need to scroll all the way to the bottom.
Okay, so I've just filled in the family members, two family members, one a mother and the other a sibling. So the form is straightforward. Next, I'll move on to the HIV enrollment form, which I mentioned is filled the first time a patient comes in for HIV care. So this section, let me just mention something about whether the patient has been on ARVs. So it has three choices. I adapted to, they have a different way it looks. It's kind of a tabular format, but I adapted to the way we do it in mUzima, where when I select the fields, it will display more sections. However, I noticed the concepts for this section are kind of messed up, but I discussed with Nicholas. So we are looking at into it. He'll be looking at correcting the problem with the concepts. But the rest of the sections have a similar structure, where we take the drug name and date when it was last used. In this case, the okay, in this case, the date last used, I think, is being treated as observation date time, if I'm not wrong. So that's it for the enrollment form. It works the same way as the other forms. And finally, the most important form, according to them, is the visit summary form. That is filled every time the patient attends clinic. So this one is the most, the longest form. So the BMI here is a calculated field using the height and weight. So the way I've done this family planning methods question is like I did on the questioning form, where if you check undecided, then all the other fields are disabled. And if you choose one of the other fields, then undecided will be disabled. So these are unlike how we used to do before, where the validation happens at the end of when you've completely filled the form.
Nice.
So the same thing works with similar questions actually that have multiple check boxes and one that cannot be checked with the others.
What goes on in the WHO stage, Phil?
This one is there's section to be displayed which is based upon the age. This
Is it like a computed field?
yeah. Whether the person is I think it's a question of whether the person is below age 15 or above 15. Then the section, if the person is above 15 years of age, then there's some details to be displayed in that section.
So you're saying it's not done yet? I'm just curious. I was a bit confused by it.
Yeah, it's done. I think I will fill the form for a patient who is above 15 years of age. Just short. I think I will demonstrate that shortly.
No, I think that's fine. If you're saying it's not showing up because the person is under 15, then that's fine. The question is whether to remove even the label itself, right?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Now the test section, they have on their form they are kind of pulling the whole list of tests from the concept dictionary and populating it on the form. So they have a field where the user would type in and then it would display tests that match the typed in criteria. But for this case, because we can't pull it directly from the concept dictionary, I decided to implement for a few tests, 5 of them. So I think it's something we want to discuss with them to see which are the most important tests that can be displayed. But probably in the future, we'll want to have a feature where we can also have a whole list of tests to be selected from.
So I think, yeah, the best way is to do the lookup and then on demand. I think I know what you're talking about, like lookup and on demand, and then just pick and choose which one the provider would like, and then just answer those.
Yeah. But I think in this first stage, we'll just kind of use what Sapphire has done to just reduce the cycles and then see which way they go and whether they want to.
I think that one lookup one, I think we can think about the design a little bit later because it's probably not that straightforward. Yeah.
Agreed, Ada.
And I don't know if you guys observe in the demo one thing. I have the same issue with guys as well. So sometimes the zoom in, zoom out icon keep displaying in the middle of the screen, and then do you guys know I'm talking about, like the plus and minus zoom in, zoom out icon sometimes display in the middle of the screen, especially for the phone that are they are not very big in the screen size and kind of like cover parts of the form. It's becoming I find it annoying myself. I don't know for you guys. I don't even know why sometimes it would pop up or it doesn't go away once you already finish your zoom in, zoom out thing.
I think the lab team also have a similar issue where that icon displays on a button that they have to click.
Yeah.
The show messages button, so they have to wait until it disappears.
Yeah,
but I try to check whether we can hide it. So it's possible to keep it hidden. Only that for versions below 3.0, they don't support hiding that icon. So versions 3.0 of Android, you can hide that icon and still be able to zoom in and zoom out.
Okay. Yeah, it's just a different issue. It's not even about the demo. It's like I just since we see the screen, I just want to point it out. Yeah.
Okay, so basically that's how the forms look. I'm still running through to identify in case there are any validations. For the observations, I've not completed selecting the specific concepts you want to show in the final demo. It's something that is I'm still working on. But basically, this is how it would look for if you want to look at the concepts that we already filled. Okay. So I'll attempt to upload the forms to the server side. Okay, this is an error that's thrown, which we mentioned. The module currently running at the server side is the latest mUzima module, which has an issue uploading forms. But this morning I tried to do it on my local machine where I installed an older version of the module, and I'm able to upload the data to server side. So as I said before, I'm still looking at I'm looking into the issue to identify what is the cause of that problem. However, on the day of the demo, I will use the older version of the module in case we shall not have found the solution, so that I can be able to upload the data to the server side and also demonstrate how it gets processed and be able to check in the patient history using the web platform to see whether the concepts the observations are in the database. So that's what I have to show for now. I don't know whether anyone has a question.
That's great. I don't have other common question. I wonder if others have.
No question from me. Just yeah, we'll see what you find out about the error, and
Okay.
but hopefully it should integrate the demo itself. Okay, based on the approach you said.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. If there's no about with other members, do you guys have any questions or comments?
Okay, we had a concern or maybe a question on using mUzima Jira. Using mUzima Jira. Eda. Hi, Eda. Eda.
Yes, Ruth?
Okay, I have a question maybe on mUzima Jira. We are not able to mention someone when you are commenting, adding a comment on a ticket. I don't know if you can assist us on that.
Say it one more time.
I'm saying when you're adding a comment on a ticket, you are not able to mention someone or maybe link someone to that ticket.
You can just use the @ sign and then type at least like 3 letters. It's to show you all the matchings on the bottom, and then you can just click one of them that matches who you want to mention.
F, the F.
the add key, the shift 2.
It doesn't work.
I think it works.
It works for me.
Yeah, because I remember I mentioned Derek on LAC 23, so I think it works. Maybe for specific users, if there's a specific person, you can tell us.
Like today, I tried attaching or maybe mentioning survive in my comment, and I was not able. Yes.
So can you send it through the Skype, the group chat, the Skype group chat, and then I can look at it? Which one specifically you're talking about? Because I tagged other people before, and then it works, and I also saw Simon tagging other people, and it works.
Yeah, even Eric had the same problem.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll chat through Skype. Thanks.
Okay, cool. Hey, Win, go ahead with the version thing. Win, do you want just to maybe briefly go through the what we decide on the format, version format, the versioning?
I think you decided something different from what I suggest.
So, do you want to go through maybe both suggestions to see which one makes sense? Because I think it seems like we don't really have the final decision yet. You know what I mean? So, so what you suggest is like change the, should we go with what Sam suggests? What do you think about what Sam suggested?
I think I'm fine with either way, as long as we have different version for every APK we release. I think that's the.
Okay.
Anytime we release anything, even for testing, we need to make sure that the version is different.
Yeah. So yeah, the reason I want to push this one is that because we notice not just about APK but also the module versioning, that it's really hard to tell which one is which. One is uploaded to the server because we cannot see the dates anymore. So we need to have some information once it metadata on the module as well. Once it's uploaded to the server, we can still we're still able to tell that this is a different version from the last one that I uploaded.
Yeah, this will be applicable for all. Like,
okay. Cool.
APK.
So would that be so, Simon? I wonder what your thoughts are as well. So do you prefer, which way you prefer, like Win suggestions, Sam suggestions, or you have other thoughts?
No, I don't have other thoughts. Yeah, I think I'll go by what's already said.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
if we can we tag the releases, the minor releases we do for particular tickets based on the what do you call it? Basically, the versioning will do as some described. If there are, we increase the version numbers by the changes and yeah, I'm forgetting the word, but basically what Sam said is what I would concur with.
Okay, yeah, what Sam suggests is like the third digit is the patch, the second digit is minor, and then the first digit is major, and then in terms of releases, that is what it is for the public release. However, for the internal testing, because sometimes we generate the modules or the APK for testing purposes, so it includes the latest commit.
Yeah.
as the build number, so that we will be able to distinguish which one is which.
Yeah. So we'll use the commit code. Remember we had started such a thing where we show what pull request included a fix for a particular ticket. I think we started doing a similar thing. So I think it would be well for the internal APKs and commons.
Yeah, so because I was trying to figure out like a more automatic way or also standardized way, so that when we say, oh, this is release 1.05, let's say that, we know exactly how it's different from 1.0.4. And what all these additional tickets that we have done, and in terms of like bug fixes, features, and also easily link back to the GitHub code and changes and things like that. So without doing all this thing manually, because I think we need to start to be more programmatic way for all these things, and that's why I really want to push for us to have like a standardized versioning for all the modules and APK. So that it would make sense for us to go through and triaging the tickets when we close the tickets, what need to be tagged and how, so we can pull those information quickly. So maybe Simon, if you can what you through the email, that'll be really helpful. And then I think Win it's okay one way or the other. I just want it to be finalized, and we stick with that approach. Because because it's going to take me a little time to go through like all these tickets, and I want to finish those before we say, oh, have our Google Play public, and then we can easily say that what is the diff between this version and then the next version.
Right.
Yeah. If not, it become like very difficult to manage, and not we might be missing something when we claim like this release include these 10 fixes, but then actually maybe there's 15, and then we might miss 5. I just don't want to run into that situation, and try to be a little bit more professional. So if anyone have like any thoughts of that, feel free to share as well. This, I know that we discussed this before, but we never really come up with like an agreement. So we are running out of time. And for other issues, please send through email or our Skype group chat, and then we can continue with that.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.